A huge reason that there's so much tension between men and women right now is because women don't need marriage anymore. For much of history, marriage was tied to things that women had a harder time getting on their own. Money, security, a home, even just being treated like a fully legitimate adult. It's not that every woman was forced to get married, but the cost of opting out was much, much higher, and that's changed dramatically. Because now women can build whole rich lives without a husband in a way that just wasn't available to them before. Which means that marriage has gone from something that women needed to something that now has to compete with the life that they can build on their own. Once marriage becomes optional, that internal question changes completely. Then the question isn't, can I find someone who will choose me? The question becomes, can this relationship compete with my peace? Can it enrich a life that is already full? And that is a much higher standard. But here's where this gets complicated, because the ability to choose changed much faster than the actual bargain. The old marriage bargain, the old way of doing things, was built around very different roles. Men were expected to be the providers. The women were expected to make the family itself work, raising the kids, running the home, supporting the husband, taking care of everybody. And then we spent decades telling girls, you can get educated, you can have a career, you can get married, you can have kids, you can do it all. And women listened. And to be clear, that was absolutely the right thing to do. Women needed those choices. We're not going backwards. The problem is a lot of the older expectations of women never disappeared. So we never replaced the role, we just added to it. A lot of women are earning money and building a career while still carrying a ton of the work that their mother and grandmothers were expected to carry at home. And that's fucking exhausting. So once marriage becomes something that you no longer need to build a secure adult life, you can look at this bargain and think to yourself, wait, why would I want to do this? And when enough women start asking that question, a lot of tension starts to build, and that's exactly what's happening. But there's a huge mismatch between men and women, and it started with how we were raised. We taught girls how their lives could change tremendously, but we did not do nearly as much work teaching boys what being a good man looks like when being a provider is not the only thing that a woman needs from you. Now men are finding themselves in relationships with women who want a more equal partnership, and that requires a very different skill than the old model taught men. So we're living in this really weird in-between where we know the old rules don't fit, but we haven't figured out the new ones yet either. And a lot of what looks like a war between men and women right now is just the friction of a culture changing way faster than the people inside of it know how to change.